Hi everyone. This is a welcome video for English 390. Both sections, there are two sections that are combined. One is an in-person blended section, the other is an online section. I am your somewhat fearless leader. If you're feeling formal, you can call me Professor Glick, otherwise Professor, or the thing that I prefer, which is just Robert. I thought that I'd make a short welcome video just to say hi, let you see my face and my office, prove to you that I'm a real person and not a bot. I'll be making quite a number of short, super lo-fi videos through the semester. We may get cameo appearances by other people in the house, or fans, or lawnmowers, or whatever I'm listening to at the time. This video is just a welcome video. There are other videos that I'll have you look at before the first week. A couple points of business. Again, I am a real person. Maybe some things that you don't want to know that I'm introducing too quick is what did I watch on TV last night? Episode 1, Season 1 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We're going through that episode by episode. Secretly, I like Angel better, but we'll deal with that later. What album am I listening to while I'm preparing all these things? Sleater Kinney's 2002 One Beat album. That gives you a little weird sense. I say this partially so you know stuff about me, but partially because this is how we build character, one detail at a time, each detail of which has a little bit of context attached to it. So this is going to be a pretty crazy semester. It's COVID life. There's a lot of political upheaval. You've had a lot of stress and thinking about what the world's going to look like. And, my request it's not a demand, it's a request, is just that, a lot of us are pretty afraid. So during the semester, a little bit of, I'm going to ask for a little bit of extra empathy and compassion and just being a little slower to be frustrated. Sometimes the writing is frustrating. Sometimes what other people are writing is frustrating. Sometimes, my courses doesn't work. This is just a semester there where we really have to cultivate an awareness that other people are going through things as well as us. And, that also ties back into fiction, which is what we'll be doing. We'll be doing literary fiction this semester. Some people say that fiction is what we would call an empathy engine. It allows us to help us get into the heads of other people and see what they're going through, which makes us better people. So through this semester, let's work through it together. I'm going to mess up. You're going to mess up. We're all going to mess up. That doesn't mean we're not responsible for our actions. It just means that we can moderate how we handle them. So again, getting to a little bit of logistics, there's two sections here. One is the blended section. That means that if you're in the blended section, that you are going to be coming into class once a week, either on a Monday or a Wednesday. That should be listed on your SIS schedule to when you're coming in. The online section is obviously fully online. For both sections, the deliverables are exactly the same and the checklists are exactly the same. The only difference is that the in-person people will be coming in, and on those days we're going to be doing some optional activities that are really useful and important, like collective brainstorming, story building, maybe a writing exercise. My hope is that the online people will get together in groups and do the same things on Zoom sessions. I'm going to model how we build stories or how we can create things in really interesting ways. But that's the only difference. Otherwise, even if you're in the in-person sections and you have to dip out for a little bit because you're on flex or something comes out, you just keep following the to-do lists and the checklists. That should be the same. Also, both classes, well, the online class this isn't relevant for, but for the in-person classes, I am offering the flex option. This is confusing. Online flex means all online for the whole rest of the semester. Full flex means you go in and out because circumstances demand it. As I mentioned in my announcement, if you need to go to Flex, you need to email me and ask me explicitly. But the only rules there is once I agree to it, you're still doing the same thing. You're just not coming into class, but you're doing the deliverables as you would before. In terms of going forwards, and I said this in the email or the announcement, depending on what you saw. I sent you an email, but I put that up as an announcement at the top of my courses. You can see it on screen right now. The thing to do is, after watching this, when you feel like it, best to get this done before Wednesday just because it's logistics and then you can get to the good stuff of writing. But if you don't get to it till Wednesday, that's okay too. Is to go to the document on my courses, which is the class schedule. It is right here in content. I'll have a separate video on how I structure my courses. I'm trying really hard to get everything super clear for you folks because I know there's a lot of chaos. But what you're going to see is in the table of contents is a section called From Robert, Logistics. Open that, and you will see, it disappeared on me, the 390 schedule. You want to open that up. I'm going to show it in my Word doc format for you. And what you're going to see once you open that up is that every day has a to-do list for you. You might want to print this whole thing off if you're a print person, but I've listed things that I want you to do in order. It's often 5 or 6 things, but often they're really little. They're not big things. So for the first day, this is all logistics, reading documents about the class itself and videos. So you can start here, and then this tells you what to do next. Read the COVID Life document, the syllabus and schedule documents, watch the video, etc. Now, I've duplicated all of the to-do lists for you in the checklist. So this may not be something you've used on my courses, but if you go to checklists, you can see every week. This is going to look a little different for you because you're a student, the teacher, but you have the same exact things where you can actually check them off for your ease of use. Lastly, those checklists are also listed in the calendar, which is on your top page of my courses. So you can see them all right here, and you should be able to click from one of them to the checklist. It's a little tricky, but you can get there. So again, the first thing for you to do is go to the schedule, and that tells you everything you will need to do moving forwards. Okay. I think that's about it for welcome. Please be aware that things are a little bit fluid, as I said, in part because of online, in part because of COVID and all of the things that are moving really quickly. What is important in that for me right now is that things are still going to change a little bit in the semester, both during the semester and over the next week. I'll be tweaking assignments if we're getting behind. I will mess with deadlines just a little bit. And even this week, I'm getting things, just depending on conditions, I'm changing them. So be aware that there will be some flexibility. If something changes, I will, after the start of class, I will let you know in the announcements section, which is right here. For example, if a deadline's changed. And if it's soup deadline, I will email you as well for that. That's about it. I hope that your last week before summer's over can still give you a little bit of fun. Go take a hike, get out somewhere. I know that things are ramping up really fast. One heads up is that every week on Friday at 3:30, we'll be having a synchronous session. That will be my office hours and the time where we discuss stories. It is optional, but highly, highly recommended. And in a survey I'm having you fill out, you can tell me whether that's a time you can't make. But I really hope to see you online that first Friday at 3:30, because then we can introduce ourselves. This is for all sections. We can introduce ourselves, talk a little bit about writing. And, it's nice to see your faces in whatever way you want to display them. Part of the fun for me is meeting you all and getting to know you. And that tells me a little bit about how your writing is going to go. And you get to know a little bit about me. So in that respect, I would love to see you a week from Friday online. And until then, have a really good week. Talk soon.